Data centres provide electronic information storage services that enable internet users to upload, download, backup and access their files and systems. The data centre sector in Australia is growing close to 20% a year, and we're told it's returning 200% on investment. After all, these are the things that make fast cloud computing possible, and we're all climbing over each other to get that. These references are available on our website. One of the fastest growing first world data centre areas is in the desert around Phoenix, Arizona, in the United States, where Google and Apple have been building huge centres. Longreach, in outback Queensland, is the closest thing Australia has to Phoenix for climate. It's very hot and dry. For abundant low-cost real estate with transport connections including road, rail and air, and for diverse sources of renewable energy including solar, geothermal and biofuel. Add to that, it's a major hub on the national broadband network of fibre optic cable. Most data centres in Australia are being built near capital cities because that's where the engineers and builders are, but land is expensive. About $147 per square metre in Brisbane and more in Sydney and Melbourne. In Longreach, unimproved rural land close to town sells for about that much per acre, which makes it 1/4,000th of the price, or 0.025%. We want to see whether we can squeeze all the normal data centre costs, plus the obvious add-ons of shipping the building and computing material 1,200 kilometres northwest of Brisbane and enticing staff to make their homes in Longreach, into that 99.75% margin left over from the real estate sale. If we can, there's going to be a profit in it for our investors because data centres are going up like supermarkets around the world. The demand is clear and the supply of customers is growing as traffic expands. In Longreach, that 99.75% can do even more good than make profit. It can improve education services for the thousands of young Australians who need fast internet access just to go to school using the schools of distance education, one of which is in Longreach. The Q Centre will make it possible to feed fibre directly to those families, paid for out of data revenue. Q Centre will use renewable energy produced from sunlight and wind and from algae which live in our difficult artesian waters. These energy sources are being developed already right here in Australia. It will attract even more movie producers to our beautiful vast landscapes because they need enormous computer grunt for their post-production. It can help improve health services using telemedicine, but more profitably, it can develop 2 new industries and the jobs that come with them. One of these industries can only come from here. The first of these is micro-prototyping and small batch manufacturing along the lines of the Makers Revolution in 3D printing. Read Chris Anderson's book Makers and you'll see the benefits. This is how manufacturing can return to Australia without having to spend billions on retooling massive factories. The second is a new kind of crowd-driven education and export model we're pioneering. It's based on methods my dad, Dr. Keith Coakley, used all his life in the Queensland Forestry Department, but he was before the internet. I call it local experts making global knowledge, and it's already happening. Using my background in publishing and global education, and the scientific gems we collect from local graziers and their families, we plan to assemble uniquely Queensland knowledge about dealing with our newly variable climate and sell it to the world using online platforms, and then return the benefits to those same graziers through cash royalties, helping them reinvent their businesses in this terrible drought. As well as gathering local knowledge, we've deliberately consulted everyday locals and local leaders for their views, and will continue to seek their input and contribution to Q Centre. The drought is everyone's business and on everyone's mind. We all know there's no use just hoping for rain and making plans for what you'll do if it rains. Climate experts say it might not rain again in the central west of Queensland for years. This scenario is happening all over the world, in Africa, Asia and South America. But it's also raining data all over the world, and the Q Centre project can help collect some of that rain for Longreach, making it more sustainable, less of a drain on government resources and more inviting for investors and businesses.